Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California's sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Hey, it's Icarice, and I'm here to tell you about Hotcast for Podcasting. We are a podcasting studio located in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You can book online at hot7025fm.com. Just click on Hotcast. You can book and find your times right there. Thank you for booking with Hotcast for Podcasting. Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Of course it's time. Yes, it's 5 p.m. Pacific time over here on the West Coast. I'm your girl, Miss Connie LV, and you already know what this is. This is Levels of Intimacy, the Naked Truth. Come on in, everybody. Gather yourselves up because it's showtime. Did you miss me? Oh, there she glows. It's really all about that light. I love a good light. Yes, I missed you guys. If you don't know, I literally had to just take a mental health break here. You know what I'm saying? But before we get the show started, I want to say that I have created a new YouTube page because, you know, we spent the block. So we over here on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, IG. So make sure you follow me, The Naked Truth, on YouTube. You can put in Miss Connie LV. I should be popping up. Make sure you click follow, subscribe, because I got to get those numbers up so I can go live with the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So you can catch these behind the scenes before the shows start up. If you follow me on TikTok, I love a star. You know, I'm all about this monetization world out here as well. Yes, everyone, come on in. Like I said, it is the hour, the 5 o'clock hour. It is hump day with that bedroom candy business. Please know that if you are loving on yourself or someone else, I am your girl. I am your bedroom boutique consultant here in Las Vegas. So if you're looking to generate a little bit of income, it doesn't matter if you're male, female, in love, out of love, looking for love, falling, fractured, in it, complicated. Guess what? There's someone who could benefit from your situation. And you know what that someone is? That's you. So listen, if you're looking to generate some income, have some fun, meet a great dynamic of people, make sure you click that link, www.bedroomcandy.com/11002. That is my candy consultant number, and join a winning team out here. You know, it's bachelorette season. It's big money in these events. So I look forward to meeting and greeting with you guys and making you a part of all of these new events that I have coming up. But yes, come on in here. Like I said, it's hump day. And as you can also see, this show is sponsored because it is a wig on Wednesday. Shout out to the Maven Hair team. Yes, I've been rocking with them guys there for 15 years. If you are looking to create an alter ego, have another hairstyle, hey, okay, or just tap into a different look, it's okay to switch it up, sis. If you're looking for that, all you have to do is hit my link, totallymadeover.com. Okay, that's going to take you to my whole scheduling site. And from there, you can click purchase hair. You can come on in here and be a part of this whole process. But listen, girl, hurry up. Because as I warned you, that import-export thing is shutting down. The ports is empty. We going to be able to get some wigs in, sis. I got mine. I'm going to tell you what you better do. You better schedule with the nearest stylist and make sure you got yourself all the way together, because life is lifing out here in this socio-political climate. But like I said, guys, welcome to Intimacy. I'm your girl, Miss Connie. By now, you should be settled and ready for the conversation. I have a guest today, and you already know that my show is always going to be hot, because where am I? I'm at the hottest radio station here in Las Vegas. That's Hot 702.5 FM Risky Radio, where we keep it real and we keep it raw. So make sure you subscribe to our Hot 702.5 page, as well as Miss Connie LV and the Naked Truth. Listen, we are outside. Okay, we got real people talking real stuff here. I got my girls, they coming on. We talking about the uterus. We talking about love. We talking about life, living. You know, and amongst all that, it do be a little bit of tea. Okay, you know, this levels of intimacy. So I wasn't gonna get on nobody with no sharpness. Okay, but what I will say before the show gets started, okay, we are the power, my dears. Come into your power, because it look like we scrambling some eggs around here. Let me tell you what 4-5 years side chicken gonna do. Almost get you 50 million. Let me tell you what dating the old man gonna do. How you running an interview. Okay. Y'all better stop playing. Stop playing out here, because once you tap into your authenticness, you become dangerous in these streets, okay? And speaking of that, I just want to tap into a conversation that had me actually tap into my guest that I have for today, because not only is she an artist, a musician, an actress, a model, you know, a client, okay, of mine, but she is also a songstress. And one thing her and I have had the opportunity to talk about is when you tap into that rawness, when you have that time for self, you know, especially when you held different roles and titles in life, and you finally get that moment to tap into yourself and fill your own cup, like what that feel like, you know, what does that feel like? And with that question being out here in the air, I want to bring my guest on. I want to bring out the sexy, the songstress, Amira. Welcome to the show, Amira.
Yes. How are you?
I am grand. How are you?
Well, I just want to know if y'all can see me good, if I'm sitting right. I know y'all can see the kitchen, the suitcase, and all that, but can y'all see me?
Wait. Okay, now I can. Now I can see you.
So sit back.
Gorgeous.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks to you.
Okay, wait. Okay, boom, TMO, baby.
Girl,
that's what we do. Hello, chocolate.
This is what you're going to be doing forever now.
Okay. Yeah, so, okay, it's the collaboration. It's the collaboration of Black businesses. You as an entertainer, and also we definitely want to give a shout out to Rio Hair. Shout out to Rio Hair, Raw Rio Hair.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Hair.
Yeah. Because as a stylist, they definitely make the job easier. You know, that's one thing I learned about being everything in the business. If that hair not right, that'll all come back on me, the service. Find you a good place that got good hair.
Right.
Okay. And that you did. But welcome to the show, gorgeous.
Thank you. Good to be seen. Good to be here with you. I'm so excited about today. And
I am as well.
And I know you're going to pay me back next Thursday and come on 2020 Vision. So yes,
ma'am.
It will be
Yes,
instant.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will be in LA next Wednesday. I will be on Amira's show as well, because these people, y'all just make me come outside. And then wait, what else am I doing, Amira?
My show is Thursday, but if you come Wednesday, that's fine. But the show is Thursday, so just
Right, I'm gonna come after mine. But no, okay, so before I even get there, first of all, let fill our cups up, okay? Let I gave a little bit of drip, but I want you to create the sauce here and let them know who that we have in the room. Because, I love when we speak. So.
okay. Well, my name is Amira the Songstress. I am a singer-songwriter first, actor, model. And then I have a podcast myself called 2020 Vision. So I am the host of that show, of course. And I've just been in the business for quite some time in regards to entertainment, especially singing. And I don't know, I've worked with some of the best. Most of my producers, actually all of my producers on any album are all platinum plaque, at least producers, if not Grammy Award winning. Shout out to the 8-time Grammy Award winning Malik Youssef. Yes.
Shout out to Malik.
Yes. Know him from Kanye West, Beyonce, Rihanna, Snow Allegra, and many more. And your girl Amira the Songstress. So just been doing this thing. I'm an independent artist that moves in a major way. I've been signed to a couple of different independent labels, and I work with Universal Records as a current. And that just means independent just means I pay for all my own shit, but I own my own shit too. That's what that means. So
I know that's right.
That means I don't work for the label works for me. That's what it means. So
right. And so the premise of the whole conversation today, I know when you came in from California, because like I mentioned, guys, Amira is also my client, has become my friend since our very first date when you came and got your hair done. It was like an instant energy thing.
Man, connect. Well, the spirit knows each other, first of all. So I feel like, first of all, our spirits jumped out and said, hey, it's you, my sis. We could have been, I don't know, mother and daughter last time in this world. We could have been sister and brother, husband and wife. You never know how we chose to come back to commune with each other again. But the spirit will always find each other. So when we saw each other in the physical, our spirits already knew each other. So it was easy. Before we knew it, when I sat down, we were finishing each other's sentences. I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Remember, you were like, don't play with me. I know I'm cute and innocent looking, but I still hit hard. And we both said it at the same time. I said, oh, there she is.
Right. We out here trying to work on ourselves in these social media streets, and that's one thing I do love about us, that although, you see beauty amongst us, we definitely have been through some situations that would create the adjective of hard. But thanks to lanes like social media where we can't cuss on here, it kind of softens the blow a little bit, because we don't want to be cut off. So now I got to work on my mouth.
Thank you for reminding me. Thank you.
Right. So I was like, warning, because I stay in a little bit of a lockdown situation. I just got some permissions over there on TikTok. But you know what? Hold yourself accountable. That is the age that we are. You know what I'm saying? But yes. Like I wanted to let everybody know, it doesn't matter what's going on or whatever is happening. As women, I think we both had a conversation about this, about pressing the reset buttons, because we have all these titles when we show up for different people, as daughter, as sister, as mother, as friend. But it's something spectacular about that moment when you literally have time to show up for yourself.
Right. I can't. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, love.
Oh, no, I was going to say, last time I came to get my hair done, I wound up getting the whole shebang, a hair, a facial, a hydrofacial.
Yeah, a hydrolonic facial from Posh Lab. Tia, shout out to her.
It was amazing. It is amazing. It's still, the glow is still here from, what was that, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it's still here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because this would have been a week. Yep.
Got my lashes done, got my eyebrows done. I had a whole day, didn't know I needed it. And then we wind up shooting content right after, like, hey, you know, you were like, look, I don't sleep on the salon. You were like, Lear,
Okay, it's called The Look. The shout out to the Look Style Society.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, you know, coming up and first of all, let's just be a little bit transparent here so the audience understand who we are. And I can't hear her and what's going on. Are you married, single, children?
I am newly divorced.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. That's a celebration.
Okay. Woo!
Yeah.
Newly divorced.
I finishing up some last couple of things. Hopefully it'll be all finished by the end of May. But as of
Okay.
now, my status has changed. Like technically I am, you know, back to my maiden name, Amira Robinson. I was
Okay.
married for 15 years. Yes, I do have children. I have 3 sons. And I had them prior to my marriage. So I think I was single for maybe like 13 years, a single mom for like 13 years. And that came after the father of my children was killed. And so I raised my children for about 13 years before I got remarried. So right now, yeah, I'm single.
Okay. Yeah. Cause it's like, if you're not married, you single, you know,
Yes.
we can go together, go here, go there. But when you dying, if they not contacting me, then I'm really not as important in the situation as you are trying to project.
That's
And I
right.
think that's what I say. Don't show up wife if you only girlfriend. Okay. But yeah, definitely. So just the naked truth of just about, because it's so crazy because I had so many conversations this week with clients that have fractures, because I'm not going to say broken, okay? I'm not going to say broken, but they have fractures from falling in love. That's why I say I don't want to fall in love, honey. I want to be there. I want to show up, but I don't want to fall in love because I've injured my knee twice. That's not going to make me happy. But learning how to press that reset button. So now I feel as if, have you been singing or been in the entertainment industry your whole life? Is this just now starting? Like, what is the timeline? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's been my whole life. Everyone asks when I started. I started singing at 5, or, you know, when I recognized that I could sing, it was actually my father told me that I could sing. And I was just, I think I was just sitting on the floor next to his easy chair, and I was playing with my teddy bears and probably singing or humming. And I just remember my father looking down at me going, "Girl, who taught you how to sing like that?"
Mm-hmm.
Kind of remember looking up at him, and he was so proud. He had a smile on his face. He was so excited. And I was like, I don't know myself. And the way he looked at me made me want that feeling over and again. And that's when I. So my mother discovered it when I was like 8 years old. She heard me singing Denise Williams' "Silly."
Ooh, silly of me to think that I would ever have you for my kind.
Yes. Denise Williams lived there too in Vegas too. That's
You know, Denise, where you at? Black butterfly.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I had
all
a moment.
Yes. And then after that, Whitney came, Whitney Houston. So I still love Denise Williams, but Whitney Houston, she came and took it all for me. And I could just relate to her. Just her look. She was tall, skinny, very short hair, and she was a model, and she was beautiful. When I saw that picture on You Give Good Love album, I was like, oh my God. So, you know.
Yeah, so relatable.
That's me.
Yeah, we need, and that's what we need still. We need people that look like us sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
That's bigger than us. Just, you know, just to show that level of growth. But so the reason I even ask, because often music comes from life's experiences. So you were singing as early as 5, but when did you start to create music? When did those emotions turn into songs for you?
Oh, I would say I probably was like 11, 12 when I actually started writing. I started writing poetry. I loved poetry. But because of my love for music, I started turning all of my poems into songs.
Okay.
And so 11 or 12 when I actually started writing, But as far as professionally actually getting into the business, I got my first deal when I was 19, and I was in a singing group called Cherry Bomb. So Michael Wave, he's the singer that did Instant Replay with Bootsy Collins. That was his first hit. And so he discovered our group. He put the group Jade together, and then
I used to love Jade.
Yeah, and then he put our group together called Cherry Bomb. And that was my first taste into the industry. From there, we got our first deal with Provocative Records, and we just went on and went on and went on.
Not
and then,
Provocative Records.
Yeah, Provocative Records. Mm.
Why Provocative Records? Okay,
I don't know why I think based off the manager, his name was Sidney Johnson, and based off what he said, it was like all of the different artists that was on the label, because they started out as a production team for us, and then they turned label. So they said all of the different artists was eclectic and kind of provocative, like I guess, I'm the sister with the attitude, wiggling my neck, you know what I mean? All the way from that sexiness to whatever. So just something that's provocative. So I think that's why they named that label. It was so long ago. But the group, eventually the group kind of broke up. These two girls, they're still my sisters to this day, but the group itself, it kind of broke up. And then I started my solo career, I would say probably in 1998. I moved to Seattle, and I ran into a lot of producers that work with Sir Mix-a-Lot. And so that started my first project called Dreams of a Single Mother, because at that point in time, I was a single mother. I had, by this time, I had 2 sons and was pregnant with my 3rd son. The father of my children had passed. It was 97, so it was like Tupac. Then it was, what's his name? Biggie. Then it was the father of my children dying. They all kind of died in a row.
Wow. Yeah, that was a lot. I remember where I was at, like literally when we found out Tupac passed away. Like that was a crazy weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew that, in music and poetry, sometimes it's rooted in a level of hurt, or just emotions and feelings. And just where you are now in writing music and thinking about that very first song at 11. Because what did you write about at 11? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was called Winter Love. And I was like,
Winter Love.
Yeah, I was born in Detroit, Michigan. And it was like Winter Love, bitter and strong. And that's what I called it, like Winter Love. And it was started out as a poetry. I've turned it into a song. Winter love, bitter and strong, something like that. But I remember it being so freaking cold in Detroit. And I think I came out as a lover. I always wanted to love or be in love. Like, so it wasn't even a real boy I was writing about. It was just me imagining like the coldness of love versus, the warmth of love, and using Detroit as my, as my muse, because it get cold out there. Bitter.
Hey, yes, I'm from Cleveland. That's why that's why you live in Cali and I live in Vegas, because it's only so much. Living back there is like being in an abusive relationship.
Oh my God. So is Cali though. Yeah, but
no, that winter will be like
bitter.
Leave and see what happened.
Right.
Leave out this house to see what happened. Walk out that door. Walk out that door. You're going to slip on ice, break your neck, go outside if you want to and shovel that snow. I bet you be off work for the next 2 weeks. Your whole back will be out of order. I can't do it. And I miss my mama so much. She back there. It's so cold. It just stopped snowing last week.
See, that's y'all crazy.
No, I swear it was like, because my mother was like, I can't believe it's flurries. I was like, snow? I said, it's still snowing? That's ridiculous. But yeah, back to the subject. So yeah, so that's, you started off with the poetry, it took you into music, and at the point of having children and writing and music and being in entertainment, and now being successfully single, newly divorced, beautiful, bodying. Okay. What are we doing? So like, I know what we doing, and if you follow me, you know what we doing, because y'all seen us shooting that content on the roof to her music video. And make sure, let them know real quick where they can find you at.
Anything, Amira the songstress, anywhere you like to look, be it YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. It's at Amira the songstress. And anywhere you want to listen, Spotify, iTunes, on all major platforms, you can find me at Amira the songstress. And if you can get confused, just Google me, Amira the songstress, and anything you're trying to find.
When did the songstress part come in?
When I actually did go solo and move to Seattle, there was a production team I worked with called Raw Tracks. And they just named me the songstress. And one time I was that chick that did all the backgrounds for all the hip hop artists. And when neo soul was developing, I like to think I was a forerunner before it even became neo soul, before it was called neo soul. What it was hip hop tracks that we as R&B soul singers would put our R&B melodies in.
Yep, I remember that. And remember Ja Rule and Ashanti and them were the first one who really started doing that. And 50 made fun of him. And then made the same kind. I remember that era.
Mm-hmm. And actually the first song that I made like that was actually with the father of my children. And he, before he passed away, but his name was, his hip hop name was Juice, Player Juice. And so I don't know if you remember the Sanka coffee commercial when they used to say good to the last drop. So I made a song, a melody called good to the last drop. My boy, he's good to the last drop. Make sure you get your feel, because my boy is real. He's good to the last.
He was fast, man.
And then he came on rapping, talking about good to the last drop. Yeah, that's me. Hip hop mixed down with some R&B. So that's what happened in the early 90s. But after
that was that Method Man, Mary J. Shorty, I'm here for you anytime you need me. Everybody wanted their Method Man. It's like we all had the Mary J. Where my Method Man at? And I know that used to be me. That's so funny how we so much alike, because even when I go home, my friends be like, Connie, you still rap? And I'm like, I will bust a freestyle in a heartbeat. Okay. Bust a freestyle. Look, this was my very first one. My girl in the studio, she like, bust a freestyle. Well, it started way back in the summer of 90, kicking it hard. There's no way you could find me unless you were down with me and my crew, Maine and Crystal, Carmika, and even Pooh. That was my girl. They was like, oh, Connie, you raw. Oh, shit.
And then people be trying to talk like, you should rap. Like, Shorty, you should really rap your voice, man. I'm telling you, you a good singer. I'm telling you, if you rap, man.
And then my brother was like, you two, he was like, you need to just write poetry. And then I started writing poetry.
Wow.
And so now I could drop a verse. Like, I remember having my very first poem and just was sitting at work. And I was like, you got like a gift for writing, And I still spit the poem out to this day. Whenever I go anywhere, somebody asks me to come up, and do something on stage, because some kind of way I always end up on the stage. It's just so great.
I'm gonna pull you on stage. I know I'm gonna pull you on stage every time you're around me in a stage.
Pull me on there. I gotta stop hiding. I know. I gotta stop hiding. I don't know what that's about. But back to you real quick, because I wanted to make sure that from this point on, because of my watchers, they're watching. That's to you. Due to certain circumstances, I want to make sure that I leave something impactful, something educational, something informational. And I know that going through the things that we've been through, just with the title alone of human, Black, African American, woman, mother, the man, it's just like shackles on your feet. You know what I'm saying? For us. So being of any age and knowing that there are younger listeners, what would you tell a new mother or a woman in love looking to be married, especially having children, raising them, being married in love and divorce? What would you tell yourself or another woman if you were to go back to the beginning based on that whole cause and effect dynamic?
If I was to go back to okay, say the question. If I was to go back
I
to
know that was a lot.
yeah.
So just like where you're at now, today, okay?
Yes.
Today, Amira, what would you tell the 15-year when you met that man at the grocery store, in the club? Oh yeah. What were the signs? What did you not know then that you know now?
Okay, and I'm going to start with me
As a mother
woman,
or a wife. Okay, yeah.
me as a woman. And obviously I came in with children, and I was so sprung the fact that he wanted to take on me and my 3 sons. I didn't just have some cute little girls that might have been a little easier. I had sons, I had boys that was going to challenge him. And the first thing I see, and the first thing I thought that I needed to see, which was, can he handle my sons? And at the time, he showed me that he could. So as a mother, those are the things I was looking for. But as a woman now, knowing what I know now, just don't give your power away. And what I did was, and this is, I still call it a blessing. I don't begrudge.
Give your power away.
I still call it a blessing. I don't begrudge this. But what happened was, he told me about a year into our marriage that I wouldn't have to go to work anymore, do a 9 to 5, that I can just do what I love, which is music. And that's what I did for, I would say, about 13 and a half years of our marriage. That's what I did. I just did what I do. And it was wonderful. It was blissful. It allowed me to expand, spread my wings. He was very supportive and all of those things, even to the fact of making sure I always had a studio in the home. So I love that. That's a blessing. I wouldn't tell anyone to not accept it. But what I would say is, don't give up your power, because what I did for a living, I'm not saying what I did for my love. My love is music. What I did for a living, I was a loan officer. I did mortgages. I also had a mortgage brokerage of my own that I owned. And so what I did was, I did put it down. When I was doing mortgages, it was simply just to make money, because at the time prior to being married, I was raising 3 sons and I needed a lot of money, and so I still to this day is known as one of the baddest in the mortgage industry. When they was flipping the houses and doing all of that, I was the front and center, especially the men in Chicago, making sure they can get those buildings, and, whether it was commercial, whether it was residential, I was that one. I was that person that you came to. And I gave all that up, not thinking about I gave it up for a man. I gave it up so I could do what I love doing, and that's music. And I trusted that I had a supportive man. Now, he was. I can't lie and say he wasn't. But when Mad Day came, and when the divorce started happening, and when the split up started happening, everything that he gave, he tried to take it away. And I felt like he had a God complex at some point, where he thought he made Amira the songstress. And come on, we know who made me. The Almighty God, and you ain't gonna be able to take that.
Okay.
So you can send me through a bad divorce. You can even have your attorney ridicule me in court about the death of my child. You can do all of that. But I'm still Amira, and you can't take what God gave me. I'm a reproducer. I'm going to reproduce again and again and again. I've already proven by putting children in this earth. I'm a reproducer.
Yes.
So
wait, let me just give a pause, because we got I have watchers on Facebook and TikTok that doesn't know that this is live on YouTube, Hot 702.5 FM and The Naked Truth. So they hear me responding but can't hear everything that you're saying. And I definitely want you guys to tap into that YouTube page so you can hear just what you're saying, but just the power behind it. Because I'm looking at you and I'm listening to you and I know you. So I can feel that root, that's that sacral. So when people start to explain about chakras and being in line, you know what I'm saying? And being balanced, just in healing, you could hear just how deep that came. Like, you like, knuck when we buck.
Right. Girl, they sent me. They tried to send me through the ringer, but over the last couple of days, and I don't know if it was, God's divine timing to where I was prepping for this, this interview, not knowing that this is what I was going to be talking about. But I just remember thinking over the last couple of days, man, I'm much stronger than I was even last year. And even the year before that. I'm much stronger because, they will kick you when you're down because you're a giant otherwise to them. So
what's the motivating force with you? Who is your, somebody asked me this in an interview and I had a flow and it threw me off, and I'm going to ask you, who's your superhero?
My mother.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother. She's the strongest woman I know. My mother had 12 children out of her womb.
Wow.
I'm the 12th.
Wow. Oh, you're the baby. Okay. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. And she was married like about 5 different times. So they're each marriage had a set of children. We were the last 5. It was my 4 brothers and myself. And then we took care of my nephew. So I was raised with 5 boys and I was the only girl in the house. I just had to watch my mother be strong. So when she was married to my father, he was very violent towards her. I couldn't stand him because of it. And I was a little girl. They got divorced when I was 5. So I was so happy at that moment. I was 5 and you would think I wouldn't know what was going on, but I was really happy that she was finally free of violence. What that has done to me as a little girl, seeing that, you would think maybe I have daddy issues, but it's not that. It was never that, because my mother got remarried. It was more so like I don't have tolerance for men to even raise their voice. Yeah, disrespect men to raise their voice at a woman. I'm so on a woman's side. You know what I mean? Like I don't consider myself a fighter, but even getting into it with women, I don't like that. It's not a afraid thing. It's more like, I don't want to hurt you, and that's not bragging. That's not bragging. No, I didn't say that to brag. I'm saying that to say that watching a woman, the most important woman in my life, get hurt the way she did by a man. I don't want to be that physical man, knowing I have that type of strength. I don't want to hurt a woman, so, I'll cry if I get into it with my best friend, and it's not because, I can't, toss you around. It's because it hurts me to know that I'm hurting you, or that I'm at the point where I want to hurt you, but men, that's a whole different story. Man can get these hands. Listen, a man could get disciplined within 0.5 seconds. You know what I mean? So,
no. We don't want to put our hands on anyone, though. What we really just
but I pay homage to my mother, because my mother, she was just the strongest woman I knew. She went through a lot of things.
Yes. Okay. That's good to know. But and it's just crazy because like today's topic is just such a whirlwind. Ever since like I even had my moment and just tapping into what you're saying and going through recent therapy, it was a lot. Like there's a lot that's been going on with me, as you know, in these past 2 weeks. And I had a meltdown, and like you said, what I realized is that I had been living such a coconut life that I had lost a sense of reality and responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially sitting in this seat. So what I learned with therapy is that I was afraid and I shut down mentally because I became afraid of myself.
Wow.
And it's one thing to be afraid of yourself, but then have people feed into an unhealthy state of mind, and it makes you more dangerous. And if you haven't had the opportunity to sit in silence, where I always tell people silence is the loudest noise, and really grasp causes and effects. You can make the wrong decisions, so to some I kind of like shut down, but it's like, I'm like really dealing with some disorder. So I got to quiet some of these people down in my head.
That's right.
Because as far as I've come, I literally am on my porch still. Yeah. Because that quick trigger took me to a dark place. But now in this platform, I have a chance to look at myself and dissect myself.
Right.
Not only that, but hear other people's opinion about how I handle myself without even knowing everything. You know, and I've always been a person to be like, who cares? You know, like only God can judge you. But I think social media taking that, you have to take that into a whole different perspective. You know, it's not about who cares, it's who seen, who saw it.
Yeah.
Who saw what? Or how much of that was edited? Content, context. You know? Right. So like you said, I think just at this age and at this moment in journey of womanhood, we understand how dangerous we are. So we've become introverts because we're dangerous.
Yeah. It's for me, it showed up as social anxiety. And over the last, I would say starting in, I'd say 2021, 2022, just been very rough. As I said, going through divorce. I lost my son March 1st, 2023, my oldest son. So I went through a lot, you know, relationships that was not really for me, all of those type of things all at once. And I noticed about my life, particularly when it rains, it pours, like it all hits at one time. And I used to say, well, God, why I got to all hit at one time? And God always said it's a testament to your strength. You know, and because when it hit big, it hits all at one time as well. You know what I mean? So during that time, I've had to go inside self, and I've been charged with sitting down, you know, for quite some time and and being with myself. So I spent in 2021 to about 2022, I spent a year, first 1-bedroom apartment I had ever had in my life. You know, because I had went from a big family to when I was on my own, I was with the father of my children. And, you know, and then once I became a single mother, I at least had my kids there. So this was the first time I had ever lived alone in a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, downsizing is real.
Yeah. So it was at that time, it was just me and God, just me and spirit. And I just had to deal with myself and myself. I had to deal with my ancestors. I had to deal with my angels. I had to deal with, you know, the Holy Spirit. I had to deal with the Most High. I had to deal with my gifts and the connections that I had. I had to deal with those multi-dimensions that I can enter into. I had to deal with all those things, and I had to try to get them all in focus and perspective, because on the outside looking in, it could look crazy or schizophrenic or something like that. It is really, you're just spiritually tapped in. And that's something as well that we have to deal with. We're healers. We're spiritual beings vibrating at a high frequency. We've passed some of these levels. We talk about age. It also comes with wisdom, and wisdom, we're not just talking about here in the physical realm. It's not that much to figure out. We're talking about in the spirit realm, graduating in the spirit realm. And I was taught through the spirit that you have to graduate there before anything physically manifests for you anyway. So in order to be a millionaire, you're going to have to graduate in the spirit first, you know? So I call it.
Comes. Sorry, just interrupt you, because speaking about that, because, you know, right now, this is a woke era, and, you know, just understanding that and being a seer, you know, as well. We have to be so conscious of these groups and these tribes and the smoke and all this stuff that people conjuring up, because you're not, you can't open up and not know what's going in. So if you amongst a group of brokenness, where is the air flowing? Because people, you got to take this stuff outside. Like, people need to understand what in real life, in real time, what things are going on. Because I'm telling you, Google, Siri, and ChatGPT got 3 different answers. So you got to check all your sources before you think that you going to create this whole little dynamic, because what you doing is tampering. Okay? You know, like my grandma used to always say, don't bring nothing from nobody's house in this house, you know, because things hold on to things. And when you are healing you have to be by yourself. You can't be with 30 other broken people all the time. That's when you in transition. You can't just, yeah, I'm like, we can't just all be broken in here. No, But yeah, so what do we have to look forward to with the Mirror the Songstress? What projects are you working on, or, you know,
always new music. Right now I'm recording some new music. I have not named the project yet. I'm just going off of feelings. Like I said, these last 3 years have been chock full of nuts. So I'm just kind of letting it out. and then even gathering some of the first recordings that I did right after my son passed. There was a producer, Picasso, shout out Picasso, and he just captured what I was feeling in the raw. So I'll be using some of those moments as well as just, one thing I can say about my music, it always tells my future. And so, and I don't write that way on purpose. I just write how I feel. And sometimes
like Machiavelli, huh?
Sometimes, well, sometimes I feel like celebrating, and sometimes I might feel like tearing some stuff up, but whatever it is, you're going to get it. And I believe that's the truth. I believe that's the gospel when you talk from the inside out instead of the outside in. So you're definitely going to get new music. I'm also, it's the summertime, so I'm planning and putting together my summer series of productions. I produce live events based on music typically. And this series is called Taste&C, where it will feature my food as well as other cooks and chefs to come along. As well, and whatever musical event that I'm putting together with that. So the taste is the food, and the C is the performance.
So Taste&C, guys, and I'm a part of this project, so I'm excited.
Yes.
So,
and I just had a meeting earlier today, so we did lock in the date. The date is June 19th. On Juneteenth, it's the beginning of Juneteenth, and the first Taste&C is. It's going to be about spoken word and blues, where I'm taking some of the best spoken word artists that I know, and my brother his name is Aziz, the pulmonologist, and he'll be headlining the spoken word edition. And then I have some blues legends in the LA area that will be playing for the blues portion of the show. And Connie, she's going to come sing us a song. And I just found out you do poetry. I didn't know that. So yeah, get on the spoken word. Get on that spoken word too. So I
got a lot of poetry. I just can't remember a whole song. That's what my ex told me. He was like, "You can sing, babe. Just don't drink when you get there." He said, "Because once you start drinking, it get funny." He was like, he said, "But I'm your biggest fan though. But don't drink, okay?" Even my homegirl, she was like, "You good? Just don't have that cocktail." She said that when you do, have the cocktail after you sing the first song.
After, exactly. You got to warm up. You got to get those jitters and come and just all raw you. And then whatever your thing is to calm you down, do that. Then come back.
And you know what? I don't even have a fear like that. I think that honestly, and it's like, even when you and I had that conversation and I could tell you was a little bit irritated with me, and you're like, "Why you keep playing?" And I was like, "Why you keep trying to make me sing?" And you was like, "Because I heard you sing. I know you can sing. Like, why are you playing?" And I was like, I left after that conversation like, why do I keep playing? Then boss lady, she calls me from the studio. She said, "Connie, listen to this." And everybody in the background, ha, 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 laughing. She said, "Guess what they laughing at?" I said, "What?" She said, your open mic. She said, "I told them, I played them like this. My girl, she a comedian. She gonna do a show. Listen to her. Tell me what y'all think." So I'm just hearing them cracking up. She said, "Connie, they laughing at your show you did." I said, "Girl, why do you keep showing that?" She said, "Because you playing. Why you keep playing?" And I said, "That's the same thing Amira said." So I'm like, okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to show it. You accountability partner
that loves talent.
And you an accountability
I don't
partner,
know, but I love talent.
you are, because you will make a person. You make a person accountable, because you're gonna have the most serious face ever asking the question, and it's gonna be like it's the mama face, like how you checked me in the studio and I was like, "I'm about to go," and you was like, "What is the problem?" And I was like, "What?" You was like, "Girl, sit down," and I was like, "Yo, she done." You was like, "You good? Like, you tripping right now." And I was like, "Oh my God." It was like I flipped 2.5 seconds and you checked me like, "Girl, get it together." I was like, "Who is this lady? I like her." Anybody that can make me shut up, I am for it. But before we go, everybody, because our time has unfortunately ran out, let everyone know where to find you at. And I will repeat what you said afterwards for my other audience. well, I'm going to say it right now. She's on all social media. If you're on my TikTok, if you're on my Instagram, if you're on my Facebook, Amira, that's 2 E's, R-A-H, the songstress. Make sure you go follow her, support her. We got a lot of things going. We got summer events coming up for Juneteenth. And guess what? I'm looking for my local talent. I had one person ask me about some management because there is a place in Beverly Hills where we gonna put you on the stage and we gonna see if it do what it do. Okay? Everybody get an opportunity out here. Right, Mir?
Right. That's right. Come on and come on.
Okay.
And keep creating like your life depends on it, because it does. If
Yes.
you can't see yourself getting up in the morning, it can't happen.
And you know what? The systematic inequalities that are impacting us as women, as Blacks, as African Americans in business, in media relationships, our minds and our soul, that has impacted our presence in our circles, at our jobs. Let me tell you something, honey. You are not out here by yourself. Create yourself a platform, okay?
That's right.
Because we're going to show up for your superheroes. Sing us up on out of here. Where we going to take them, Amira?
Huh? I don't know.
What's the song? Higher?
Take me higher. Take me higher. Wanna go higher. Let's go higher. You can find that on.
Let's go higher.
Let's go higher. I'm like, huh?
Listen, let's go higher. Follow my girl Amir, the songstress. Let's go higher. Let's go higher.
Play that, Connie,
Have a
so they
great-
can hear it.
Do we have time? I don't think
Next
so.
time.
Oh yeah. Well, follow. I'm gonna play it on IG. Send it to me in on IG and TikTok, and I'm gonna. But I put it with the reel when I posted your flyer. So
Okay.
I did add your songs to that. And
That's good
once
enough.
again, everybody, it seems as if I may be back a little bit. I know I was seeming a little bit Debbie Downer-ish, but guess what? I'm going to always show up for you and for myself. Okay, it's been a lovely evening. Thank you to my queen of a friend, Amira the songstress, for showing up. And guess what? We will be together next week. I'm going to be in sunny California with her for her show. That's Thursday. I will be posting that in my social media, so stay tuned. Make sure you please follow and subscribe me on YouTube. I need followers so I can go live. Have a good evening and stay safe. It's your girl, Miss Connie, coming to you every Wednesday at 5 p.m. discussing the levels of intimacy. What's your naked truth? Stay tuned in to stay turned on. See you at 5.